A wintry welcome back to CALMSDEN Farm for episode 12 with me, MrSealyp. I'm starting this episode pretty much how I ended the last one. No, pretty much exactly how I ended the last one. It worked out with the amount of pallets I had. It was about 15 grand for 10. So we had enough to do 20. So we're going to have about 20, 30 grand. Just off of doing the sugar. But while I was doing that, I suddenly thought, you know what I haven't checked and didn't check was the second-hand situation. So I had a look. Considering the amount of work we're doing with pallets and all that kind of thing, I've got a skid steer loader for 20 grand, 41 off. So I'm going to buy it. I'm going to leave it like that. Do I want... Yeah, I think we will. Let's buy that. It'll need some work. But here's the other thing as well. Our seeder at the moment is an 8 metre. And that's a 12 for 49 grand. 70% off. I'm buying that. And then we'll sell the other one. We don't have a planter yet still. But while those deals are there, 70% off. I'd be crazy not to. So yeah, so we've now got a skid steer loader. I'll get some pallet forks for that. Probably some bale spikes as well. I mean, to be fair, everything we just sold, we had pretty much covered the costs of, well, not quite, not quite getting the dairy. We had until I bought the seeder, but that's all good. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to get into some forestry stuff. I do need to take the other seeder back. I don't know what the other seeder's worth actually. We'll take the other seeder back, bring our new one. Any repair work that needs to be done on that and the skid steer loader, we'll get that sorted out. And yeah, then we'll look at sorting out some, let's get some forestry done, I think. It's 8:56 in the morning. It's the second half of December. We have moved forward a bit again. As you can see, we've got a tanker behind us again. I bought it. I bought it because we're doing all right. We're balling. Maybe not so much balling. 774,000. The rock situation. Wow. We did all right having two of those running. If we look at... Oh, still no contracts though. Oh, I'm worried. Anyway, if we go down to our lime there, we run out of stones. I haven't put any more in yet. We ran out of what we had. I got halfway through again and needed more water. I've placed a water standpipe over by the rock crushers, and the second lime rock crusher was the same. That ran out, but we still got water, so that's up there. I have put, where else did I put water point? Can't remember. Our fabric coming out, I think we've got a full one and that, which is great. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, I said about forestry, I have an idea for easy forestry. Well, let's just say easier forestry. I'm going to use some bigger equipment. Cows are fine. We're up to, well, just under 10,000 litres of milk, so that's brilliant. Honey is still producing. We need to move into the next month before they go up another like health reproduction. We're at 10% at the moment. Sheep are fine. Chickens are all fine. They're all looking absolutely fantastic. I just realised I've got Keep doing it. That one, which is the end of the world. I have taken the liberty of leasing a log trailer. Not a small one though. I've leased one of the larger ones that we normally put on the back of a lorry. I suppose I could lease a lorry. I've got enough money to if I wanted to, but I'll use the dolly in this. I don't need it. This should be able to pull it. I also need to bring the telehandler over because I'm going to use a device. Mind you, it depends. Actually, I've probably already shown it in the thumbnail, haven't I? Thinking about it. I haven't done the thumbnail yet because I haven't done it yet, but I'm just thinking of what I might use for the thumbnail. So yeah, potentially I might have already shown it. Doesn't matter if I have. It is what it is. So yeah, we're going to go over to the woodland. We're going to do a bit of logging. Take it up to the sawmill. With the money we've got left, because we've already put the dairy in. The landscaping's all done. Did I say that? The landscaping's done at the dairy. That's all kind of embedded, so to speak. I've done a little bit of landscaping around the greenhouses and a few other bits, just to tidy it all up, make it part of the landscape more, I think, rather than just sitting on top of it. Make it part of it. And what else have I done? Oh, the little skid steer loader that we bought at the end of the last episode, that's gone over. I've been using that for moving stuff around over there. There are other log trailers, but I'll use this for the time being. It wasn't too expensive to lease, it's got straps, it'll work. So we're going to take that right the way through. Yeah, so what I'm saying, because we've got the dairy already placed, I think what we might do is go down the route of, we're going to do all the logging, put it into this trailer. I'm going to do 8 metre cut lengths. We're going to lease a proper forestry tree cutter, harvester. I think I'm going to go with the Komatsu. I used the Rockner on Spectre Island. Obviously that was the previous version, not the 22 version. The Scorpion King, I can't get used to it. I'm so used to using the old Scorpion King. I don't know whether or not the Komatsu might be the same, I don't know. I don't know what it is, I've just got so used to it. Anyway, so we'll get that over there. And I mean, I don't know. A lot of the loading using cranes, I'm not a big fan of using cranes for loading log trailers and that kind of thing. As we progress in FS19, there were some phenomenal log grapples. There were some amazing log forks, all sorts of stuff that worked brilliantly, and I really liked them. So until we kind of get a bit further along in FS22, we're going to have to just accept the fact that we have to make do what we got. So I always used to default back to, especially with the telehandler, I've said this before, a manure fork. Manure fork always worked really well for me. But something I mentioned in a mod review the other day, and I just kind of said it, it was one of those kind of off the cuff remarks, and I suddenly thought, I wonder. So we're going to test it. I don't know how well it's going to work. We'll see. All will become much clearer. The grass isn't. Yeah, it's growing alright. We've got a full pallet of wool. I suppose I should take that over at some point as well, shouldn't we? Yeah, we're doing alright. Cows, sheep, and chickens on the go. We haven't got any pigs. I was really hoping we'd get some, like, you know, I know we've got sheep like goats or, you know, the different livestock source of something. I don't know what. You know, you get to a point, it's like, well, there are, you know, what other sorts of livestock? Yeah, but I'm sure people will list that. My mind's gone blank. I can't think of anything at the moment. Never mind. So the bit I was talking about in, what was the last episode? Out here, there's not a huge amount of logging to be done, but I think if we do clear it, we'll then either use it for production chains, or we'll, like I said, we'll put some more trees in, I think is what we'll do. There's a lot of these you can't really do anything with. There's not a lot. I mean, when you look here, what have we got? 10. We've got a bit. Just to wet our whistle, so to speak. We do have a... We have an unauthorised tree launch. Yeah, there's a few. Well, even if we cut all these down, we can always wood chip things like these. into chunks, thrown through a wood chipper if we wanted to. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go off and grab the telehandler, and I'm going to go and grab the tree harvester, and we'll get some done. There's not much else I can do in December. I could have just skipped through anything. Oh, I'll just skip through to January or February, and we'll get some more sort of farming work done. But this is, unfortunately, this is seasonal work, isn't it? Seasons on 19, because you could have it turned on or off, and you know, you could just carry on and just roll through the farming cycles of doing various different things. And it was always that thing of seasons, that the winter months was when you would focus on your greenhouses, your logging, you know, landscaping, tidying up. It's a bit, I suppose we could do with the landscaping tool now and the way fence is done. It's when you do your fence repair, and where you've got gaps in hedges and stuff, and you could put fencing sections. That's, we could do that, couldn't you? You could do a bit of fencing, especially if you do it up hills and stuff now as well. I wonder if there are any patches that need some work. We could put some fencing in. That might be an interesting thing to do. This was something a little bit different. Because I took rocks from the quarry over to the rock crushers, and then realised I needed water, and I was going to get the larger tanker with the dolly. I took my tractor over, brought the tanker back, and then drove off with the tanker. And again, I'd left both the trailers there, so I thought, you know what, rather than do 2 trips, let's put a trailer on a trailer and bring it back. And the only reason I thought of this was when I was going up to Lake District with MrSealyp to do the tree planting, we passed a lorry with a trailer on the back, and it had a trailer with 4 trailers, and they were all stacked front to back, sort of alternate, but stacked right up. So it was obviously, I assume, from the trailer company. They were delivering trailers to other people, and they just stacked them all up one on top of each other, which I thought was rather cool. My worry now is just going to catch the... Oh no, we're alright. I wasn't sure if we would. So I'm going to go and get the login stuff. I just remembered this was kind of part way home, so I thought I'd better go and get it. That would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? Is that all of them? I think so. There we go. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. Probably could have done with going all the way around with this, couldn't I? Too tight. Way too tight. You also might have seen, because it was snowing yesterday, and we got snow coming again today, I moved some of the machinery around. I didn't do any repair work on it, but I thought the harvester was sticking out a little bit, as was the header, and I thought if I put those and the new seeder round into the barn here, right out of the way and out of the snow, so they're all in here. Where did I put the header? Oh, the header and the cultivator are in the barn that side. That then gave me a bit more space, I decided, to put my tractors, because I was kind of leaving the tractors out. I've put the gator in the barn, I've put the feed mixer in the cow barn, and I bought the... did I buy that? Was that in the last episode or the previous? Might have been off screen. I bought the straw blower. They're all in the cow barn, out of the way. Yeah, so it's just a case of minor crops, just tidying things up a little bit and get everything under cover. It's another one of those things you don't need to, of course you don't. It could snow for days. It's not like your machinery's going to rust or anything like that, but it just, you know, that weird thing of it just feels right, you should, you know, it doesn't. I know on seasons, on FS19, the Lismus seasons, the trailers, if they took snow, if you left them out, they would start to fill with snow when it was snowing. Which I don't think we get that on here, do we? And this is post-update. 1.3 went live. I'm recording this sort of later in the day. I'm not sure when this video is actually going to be posted, whether it's going to be Thursday or Friday. But yeah, the patch went live. The information regarding Giants' new merch, their merch store is live. I remember I'm going to put the link in all my descriptions for their merch store as well as my merch store in case you want to pick up some farming simulator related merchandise, which you might want to do. So yeah, well, you know, some of it seems better, some of it I'm not sure really. I seem to have got my thing back though. Where am I? Oh, there you go, look. My icon, my little arrow's come back. That had vanished, so is that a positive? Maybe. I have done a video on the 1.3 update, so if you're interested in checking out what's kind of part of it, some of it, I didn't go through all of it, the changelog's massive, but there is a link in the description of that video to the changelog. I'm going to go and get the login stuff now, I promise. I keep getting sidetracked. Just wondering how long we're going to get a bit of sunlight before the snow comes again. So what did I go for in the end? Looking in the rearview mirror there, it's yellow. I went for the ponds, the Cobra. I bottled it with the other two. But I'll be honest, since FS19 I haven't done any logging. When I say I haven't done any logging, on Elmcreek it was all chainsaw and measuring sticks. It wasn't with one of these. So this is going to be really rusty. It's going to look pretty ropey. You have to bear with me till I get my bearings, because these are all new bits of equipment. I'm sure I'll be fine. These are all ones need to unfold and all that kind of stuff, but it'll be good. So there we go. I have preset this to 8-metre cut lengths. We'll see how that all pans out as well. We'll also change our driving position to get all the lights on. I'm not sure when we're going to get the snow. The problem is as soon as it starts to snow, it just greys over. Everything almost like working in the dark. Now, as far as what we're trying out on the front of the telehandler, I'm just about to see. Oh no, it's been in the trees. That wasn't done on purpose. That wasn't one of those kind of, oh, let's keep it a secret as long as we can. No, it wasn't. That's all. Change driving position. Just get the lights on. You might well notice as well, part of the update we had some new gear. So I'm wearing a farming simulator tracksuit top, hoodie, and a farming simulator baseball cap. Because that's the sort of person I am. What we're going to do? Unfold. No. Unfold? No. Oh, what's going on? Help me. Oh, up. So I think this sticks more to the controls I was used to on the Scorpion King. Where we've got our up and a down, a left and a right, and all that kind of stuff. The other ones have this weird, well, it's not weird, I suppose it's sort of thing you'll get used to. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to turn the head slightly. Turn the head slightly, so when you do cut the trees and you lift it and turn it, it should cut the trees at an angle away from the harvester. If you have it straight and turn it, as I've often found, it puts the logs towards the harvester, which doesn't always work. Anyway, what I was going to say was, what am I trying out? I don't know if I have no idea if this is going to work. This is that John Deere bag winch, big bag winch that came as part of a pack with some big bags. And that's got straps. So, is it possible? Do you think? I could use that to pick up the logs, strap the logs, pick them up, as long as I get the centre of gravity right. Really? I've always wondered with winches, you know, like collective nouns, you've got a flock of birds or a, you know, school of fish. If you get more than 3 of these together, is it a coven of winches? You're welcome. I haven't done a dad joke in ages. Come on, I've been very good. I have been very good. Let's turn that on. Sorry. I am sorry. Let's see if we can do this close to here first. Can we do that? Oh, the view's not much better. That's alright-ish. It's depth perception still, isn't it? In the same cut, so lift or to one side. And it should leave the header pointing out at that angle. We're set 8-metre cut lengths. Let's do this crazy thing. So the first one is going to be the test, isn't it? Well, I want these to lay down next to each other. That will make life a lot easier. Come on. Come on, that'll be good. I don't know if what we've got here in the woodland, we should fill that trailer up. At least we're same cut as well now. It's alright, isn't it? So I might spend a bit more. So this won't cut these types. It will only do your pine type ones, those things. Your tall illustrator, pines and firs and those types. Oh no, that's right away. Can I see for that branch? Same cut. Let's do it. Oh, that seems to tilt a bit towards me there. Oh no, that went all over the place. Right, let's turn that back. Let's turn that off. I suppose, the only thing we can do, let's put the lights on that. So they're making a difference a little bit. Could probably do some floodlights. Is my dastardly plan going to work? So what I need to do is either get them all at one end, which I'm thinking I have to do. Because this, if you don't like logging and you don't like the cranes, this could work. There have been a few different mods that have done this kind of thing. You know what? If I cracked it, let's try and line those up a little bit better. There's going to be some quick strap work. So if I put that directly on top there. Come on now. They're not jostling. They're not flinging around all over the place. Right, keep your voice down. Don't startle them. If you startle the logs, it can all just go to bit. I'm not going to get 2 lots of 8 metres in here, am I? I thought the trailer was longer than that. Oh well, we'll just do 8s then. I'll just go a little bit further because that's a shorter one. This is going to work. This is going to work. I'm absolutely. Look at that! It's brilliant. I've always said, haven't I? It's only stupid if it doesn't work. If it does work, it's genius. And it is genius. It's working. These should have fallen pretty much where I need them. I want to make sure I try and get the lift really closer to this end because I think I'm pretty much central. Let's try it. Is that going to work? Yes, by Jove, we've done it. We have done it. Logging made easy. I'm an easy logger. No, sorry. I was going to entitle this one Kenny Loggins, but I don't think I will now. Easy logging. Or should I call it I'm an easy logger? That's just too weird. Oh, see, this is brilliant. This is working so much better than I ever could have imagined. If you're not normally into your logging and you don't like anything, get one of these. Get one of the winches. Who was it by? My mind's gone blank. Who it was by? Came in a lovely little pack. While I'm doing this, I'll just see if I can find it in the mod hub while I'm talking. Although I realise I've stopped what I'm doing because I'm talking, but it wasn't that long ago, was it? Farm Centro Sul. It's by Farm Centro Sul. Get them quickly before they sell out, because they might do. Now what you can do, I mean I suppose it depends, if your logs haven't gone down how you thought they would, you can always use that framework I guess just to give them a shove, can't you? Look at that! It's almost like it was made for this. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Have some of that. Well, I'm going to fill this trailer up. We'll take up to the sawmill, put all the lumber in. I think if we get the sawmill, it's $100 grand, isn't it? Then maybe the carpentry. So what we can do, if we put the carpentry over in our little section over there, where we've got our grain mill, our bakery and our dairy, we can either take logs directly there, or from the sawmill when it's producing we can bring our pallets of boards from there to there. This has got a perfect reach. I'm not getting any tip. It's not like it's overloading it at all. It's just working perfectly. Could not be happier. Could not be happier. What an awesome idea. Anyway, I'm going to see in a little while. Let's get some more in there. Like I say, I think we're going to end up clearing all these, aren't we? There's not that many here. Then we'll come in with a stump grinder. And then I think we'll probably plant a load more. We'll put a load more back. I say that every single Let's Play I do when I chop down a load of trees. Don't worry, we'll put a load back, and then I never do. We will this time, I promise. I grabbed our newly acquired skid steer loader from over the greenhouses. I also then went and got a stump grinder. I'm going to grind the stumps out because I've had not a change of plan. Oh yes, I suppose a change of plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the carpentry in the woodland, because if I'm going to put trees in all around it, it makes sense for it to be right there where, you know, carpentry and trees in a synergy together, you know? Makes it feel more at one with what you're working with. That's what I'm going with. Just go with it. We have got a full load and it's been a breeze, an absolute breeze. The rest of the trees are cut down, so when I'm taking the first load, I think I'm going to take the first load up to carpentry, drop that off. The second load, not carpentry, to the sawmill. The second load I'm going to put into the carpentry. I don't know if it will take all of it. If not, I'll take whatever's left and that will go up to the sawmill as well. As you can see, we are cleared right the way through. So what I thought we would do is put the carpentry up in like this corner here. I thought it might work quite nicely. Let's just have to turn that on. We'll clear the stumps. Chopped. Shouldn't take too long, as you can see. Full trailer. And when I say I'm not even like, you know, that kind of thing of, if you spend ages doing something, you can learn to get better and better and that kind of thing. You can. Absolutely. But that, honestly, using that winch, that was easy. When I put on the thumbnail, I'm an easy logger, or whatever I decided to put, it was easy. And that was what this was all about, making your life easier. And you might not do tons of it. You might decide you'll do a little bit of logging and that's enough. You know, I've done a bit, I'm happy, I don't need to do any more. Or you might just steer well clear of it anyway because you find it boring. I know people have a very strong opinion on logging and forestry as part of Farming Simulator because it's not farm. And I understand that. And as I've always said, there's something for everyone. You don't have to agree with everything. I know a lot of people aren't happy about the production change. A lot of people have sort of said in comments and things like that, farming is the farming side of it, delivery side of it, the trucking and the transport and that's nothing to do with what we're doing. But I think it's all inextricably linked. I know people have said in the comments before, people that work on farms, they do a certain amount of forestry every year. And as I've always said, you know, in a lot of videos, I've said in a lot of videos in the past, and from when I did my tractor driving experience and a few different places I've been to and chatted to farmers and shows and stuff, farmers are diversifying a lot now with what they do. You know, farm shops on site, biogas plants. Now, there are very sort of small biogas plant systems that companies and farms and farm estates are now running themselves. There's all sorts of stuff that farmers are now doing. And I think when I mentioned about the Omatana production pack, it's one of the things Omatana said in a couple of videos she did on that production pack, is that, I don't want to, that's a bit of a spoiler alert really, but the production chains buildings vary in size and they're not massive factories. And she said the one thing she found about production chains was, when you look at buying them all, they're all huge and they're all expensive. And so when you look at a lot of farms and farmers and a lot of things people are doing, when they decide to do something, cottage industry was the word that I was racking my brain trying to think of what they refer to it as. And it starts off as a cottage industry. It might be you've got a bit of barn space, you've got a bit of spare room, and you think, you know what, let's make this, or let's do that, or let's do this as a production. They'll get a small bit of machinery, they'll get some equipment, and they'll get going. Now that may end up, years down the line, being a much bigger industry. You may find it goes really, really well. I mean, my point of reference to that is Mainskill Farm. I always stop out on the way up to the Lake District, turn off the A1, onto the A66, it's a couple of miles along there. They started off just making sausages, all local produce, all stuff off their farm, in a small annex, a little barn building on the side, and that's how they started out, just making sausages. Since then, it's grown and grown and grown. They've got a massive farm shop which has just been extended again. Again, all local produce, either from their farm or local farms as well. They've got a restaurant. All the stuff is baked or made on site. They've got they do cakes and pastries. I mean, you name it. It's an incredible farm shop. Right, that will do for what it needs to do. So I've got the rest of the trees to clear, and I'll get the rest of them. That's how it all starts out. It starts out as a cottage industry, small thing, and off you go. I don't know how I got into the subject talking about that. I just thought, you know, getting quite passionate about it. So, I'm thinking we don't need that anymore. Well, not for the time being. I did think about having a look elsewhere. I mean, we can probably just go straight through the hedge, and we could probably do any that are through here. But I don't think they're actually. It's all these ones, spindly ones around the side. There's that one there we might get away with, possibly, but that's all really. Other than, if we go, I don't know why I can't still do that. Still do it. Is the forest here. How much is that to buy? 234 grand. Yeah, we could do. We'll see what we get from forest. I haven't actually had a look around our secret meadow to see whether there's any more around there. There's a few trees knocking about, but I think, you know, as far as let's do a bit of logging goes, we've done that. So if we go to our productions and we want to go to carpentry, what's that one look like? Well, that's quite a big building, isn't it? I'm not sure about that. So this is the thing, isn't it? They're all big buildings. That's the one I used before. I like the size of that. I mean, it's still quite a large footprint, really. Where do the pallets spawn? They're around the back here, aren't they? Yeah, I'm sure the pallets spawn here, don't they? So how do I place this? I'm not going to block anything. I mean, I could just sort of stick it up into there. We can do a bit of landscape. I just need to be able to access that back section as well. Like that, maybe. And I'll move the path. If I do that, 60 grand placed. And then what we'll do is we'll put a bit of a track around the back to where the pallets are going to spawn. The track that runs that way, it kind of goes to here. We'll spread that out and we can run that along the front. I'll do a bit of landscaping. So we've now got our carpentry. Lovely. Let's take the logs. Let's see what we get for this full load of logs. Then I'll load up the trailer. Oh, that was silly. I didn't realise I'd gone over the trailer. That could have been disastrous. Yeah, I'll load up again. We'll put this first load to the sawmill and then buy the sawmill, so we've got some planks underway. And then we'll put the beacons on, lights. And the next load, however much it is, because I can't remember what the capacity of the carpentry is. I'm sure it's, was it 20,000 litres or something? I'm trying to think of Elmcreek when I did it on Elmcreek. We've got quite a lot going on now. We're just thinking of all the different production chains we've got going. So we've got the sugar mill, we've got the grain mill, we've got the bakery, we've got the dairy, we've got the spinnery, we've got 2 rock crushers. How did I save that? I didn't save it. No! That just did not want to stay on its wheels, did it? I thought I had it. I thought I'd caught it. Disaster. Come on. No. I wonder if I can tip that up with the telehandler. Oh man, can't believe I just did that. Right, bear with me. I need to go and try and... oh no. I was too busy talking and going too fast. Remember kids, if you ever lease, rent, borrow a telehandler from anybody, don't use it like that. I was thinking though, I did cut some branches here so I could get the telehandler around behind. And I'm wondering, you know, whether or not I could lease one of the mulchers, you know, the ones that they're a stump grinder type thing, but they will remove trees as well. And go around the edges of the secret meadow a little bit more. Because there's a lot more grass we could have access to that we can't get to because of the trees. Even if it's only just on the ends maybe. I don't know if I want to take it all out. I mean, to be fair, this gap here, maybe we could take all this out. Because this is what separates these 2 fields and we own that one. So we could sweep from that field into the meadow. That might be quite nice. There's me saying about putting fencing in and I'm going to take all the trees out. That's quite a nice barrier, but there's a hedge there as well anyway. I don't want to take all of them out, obviously. Maybe some, I don't know. Again, it's an idea. I get these, you know, in my head and I think, oh, let's try that. But beacons on. Note to self, slow down, especially around bends. I'm going to be really, really slow, really cautious. I did spend a little bit of time with that telehandler and I nearly righted it so many times. I was like, it's going to go, then it didn't. Then in the end I thought what I'll do, I'll get it to a position where it's up a bit and I'll drive and I'll put the Magnum, put the bonnet underneath it so the trailer can't fall back down, then reposition and go again. But every time I got out of the telehandler or tried to switch to the Magnum, it sort of sunk back down again. Have we got there? Got there in the end. Not far to the sawmill. I'm curious as well though to see whether or not that's tight. When we buy it, because we took all those logs, it wasn't a huge quantity of lumber, but we trying to avoid that sign and the tree. There we go. Just no, we didn't. Thought we'd got round to. Trouble is, when this sort of thing starts to happen, I get frustrated and I just start cutting tree limbs down. I'm not even touching it. I was stuck on the signpost, maybe one of them. When I said about repairing fencing, now that section along here on the side of this field, though we don't own this field, well this field here that we do, where you've got sort of sporadic bushes and stuff, that might, like I said, it might be quite an interesting thing to have a go at. We'll try and put some in, I don't know. I don't know if it will let you because the bushes that are already there are treated as an object, I don't know. I hate it when people objectify hedges. Done awesome out of me today, man. Funny 5 minutes. I'm curious firstly to see how much we'll get from this, but also how much like literage of lumber it gives us to process into planks. Who knows? It's good that it's a nice open yard, isn't it? Not the easiest of yards to get into, but we go round here. Oh, good, bit of dolly work. Well, it's like the first time. Small inputs, big reactions. I have always found the bigger the inputs, the more dramatic the outcome. Am I far enough over? I don't know that I am. Where's the trigger? This is frustrating. This is what I mean about the triggers. I think I'd remember by now. The one for the things there. Is it here? Can't remember. It's not that one anyway. It's that one. There. Not in the zone. Oh, that's because the zone's... That would probably help, wouldn't it, if it was actually in the target zone. Would that be enough? Should be. Straps off. Fingers crossed. Come on, big payout. Big money time. Really? Tell you what. Remember, I'm just doing that whole. Do you remember what used to be like? Back in the day. What's going on now? Why can't I get back to my something hidden there? Doing lumber. That was the whole point as well, wasn't it? Doing logging during the winter months on seasons was always the time to do it. It was when the lumber was worth the most and you get more money for it, and that entire load for 25 grand, that doesn't seem commensurate. I mean, to be fair, I didn't spend a lot of time, did I? Right then, sawmill for 100 grand? Let's do it. So now, our sawmill. Wood, 30,085. We could put loads more into it, of course we could. Planks, I'm going to put... Why is that already on? I haven't turned it on. Planks, we're going to put those to distributing. Yes. They should get delivered automatically to the carpentry. So with all the other things, all the other pallets, all the other stuff I'm taking all over the place, those should deliver. Should. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Right. And then next load I will take to the carpentry. We'll get that chugging away as well. If this is anything like the Elmcreek sawmill, we'll get a load of boards. We'll get a load of planks. That won't be a problem. I had more planks I knew what to do with on Elmcreek, in all honesty. I could have probably run 2 carpentries and still had plenty of boards. But I don't know whether or not it's faster or slower or exactly the same, I'm not sure. I could really do with some more lumber now then, couldn't I? Well, we'll load this back up again. Actually, I don't need to load it up, do I? What am I talking about? I can pick up the load, the lumber, because I've put the carpentry right where we're logging. I can just pick up the telehandler and drop each load off at the carpentry. There's no point loading this up and then driving 10 yards across and then... Anyway, I'll see you back there. Let's move some logs into the carpentry, get that processing, and another tick in the box. I'm just looking across to see. The problem is the only trees really that we can be working on are the ones in that forest down there, which we don't own, which is quite pricey. Just looking to see. It's actually easier this time of year to see because of the fact that all the other trees are hibernating, so to speak. The sap's not running, and I'm just trying to look and see where we have got some. Yeah, it is there, isn't it? Oh well. It is what it is. So as you can see, landscaping while I was gone, so very, very quick guys. It's not too bad, is it? It kind of blends in alright. Got a track around the outside, joins onto one that was there before. So, I also took down that tree that was just there. I thought, you know, well, let's get it done. We've got a track around the back. Now I'm not sure because the furniture pallets are quite heavy, so I've got the little skid steer loader that's going to be over at the garden centre, which is right here. Whether or not that's going to have enough oomph to pick up the furniture pallets. If it hasn't, then we'll just, whenever we need to move them, we'll bring something else over. Should be alright. Just tuning in. Easy logging, people. Easy logging. There we go. So what we'll do, let's see how many that is. If we go into our furniture, wood, 6,000. See, this is the problem. I think what they're allowing literage for the trees, some of these trees, again, I know I'm talking about previous versions, that kind of thing, way more literage. That was 2 full trees. So you're saying that one tree is only 3,000 litres of wood. Or maybe in previous versions it was way too high. I don't know. I'm just finding that a little bit. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Anyway, got a few more. We'll get that filled up. Actually, you know what? I should have just set that to planks. So furniture, wood, switched on. Furniture, we're not distributing, we're storing. When we get some planks, we'll then bring those over. It's all we can do. Yeah, we've got a few more. I'm not quite sure if we'll fill the thing up. We might do. If we do, fantastic. So what we'll do is I'll get the rest put in. We'll get that up and running. We have done a bit of forestry. I'm going to have a look around and see if there's any more I can pick up. I think I might need some more up at the sawmill. Now that one isn't as level as it should be, but I'll be honest, because it spreads the straps a little bit, this actually works so well. So this is where I'm going to leave you for today's episode. New equipment. Oh, when I came to start editing, I realised when I was talking about buying the seeder and buying the skid steer loader, that was the start of this episode, not the last episode. I got myself confused. So we've bought new machinery, we've done some forestry, cleared this area, which we are going to replant, trust me. Having done the tree planting with MrSealyp, I think that's important. And we've bought the sawmill, we've bought carpentry, we are expanding. As is my waistline. I'm going to go and have a lie down. Honestly, don't know what's about. I've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.